When you go to a restaurant, riding a taxi, stay at a hotel for multiple nights, or food delivery such as pizza delivery or Uber Eats, like I've been using for months now. According to Wikipedia, tips are a gratitude for a service worker who perform the basic price of the service. In definition, sometimes. I was born and raised in Taiwan. It's not a common thing to tips in here compared to Western countries. Every time I went to a restaurant, regardless how fancy it is, we always have to tip no matter what. And usually it's 10 to 15%. Dinner is higher than 50% of the entire bill. How do I know that? Because I was the one that paid for the whole thing during my visit to Dave & Buster's with my friends. Tipping should be based on the level of performance, at least in my opinion. I do like the old video made by Mr. Beast where he tips over $1,000 to every food delivery. I like to see those reactions because most of the time, delivery don't make a lot of income from their job, which I understand. They have bills, food, family to take care of like we all do. However, I don't understand is this video showing pizza delivery guy throw the entire pie on the ground when customer don't tip. The link will be in description. There are many questions to this video. Who is going to clean that up? Is it a setup? Why don't I have emotion? Why isn't he wearing a uniform? Can I wash my clothes in the dishwasher? Not only he isn't getting a tip, but probably getting fired from the job. Most likely. Tipping is considered an optional, not mandatory. Consider of level of service you're receiving from. I'll talk about a few examples I have from the past. During one of the winter break of my college year, around December, because that was the time when the Tron Legacy movie was still playing in the theater. Tron, what have you become? Had fun watching with my friends, and after the movie, while walking to my friend's house, we stumbled upon a Korean barbecue restaurant. We've never been there. It's all you can eat, but it's one of those restaurants where they bring the cooked meat to your table, not the one where you go grab it at a tray. For those that never been to this type of Korean barbecue restaurant, it goes like this. The very first plate they bring it to you is full of meat, large portion of it. It's like a mountain of meat where you cannot see the other person that's sitting across you. If you ask for more after the first plate, the quantity of meat starts to reduce. There's 3 of us. The first plate is a piece of cake. It took us about like 10 minutes. You know those Korean side dishes called panchan? Did I spell that correctly? Such as kimchi, spring sprouts, chopped marinated spicy cucumbers, and whatever. It also ran out. We were really hungry, and when we asked for more, the waiter was never around. There was a time we actually had to stand up to find the waiter ourselves just to ask for more. The restaurant isn't fully packed. It's not dinner rush hour or anything. There were probably 3 or 4 other groups in there out of like 20 tables, I think. So from this kind of service, of course, we don't feel like we're being served. They only refill our water and those Korean side dishes once, along with the 3rd plate of meat. It was $19.99 per person. With 3 of us, that's $60 plus tax that brings us about like $63. And the service fee is 15%, so that rounds it up to $75 around. With that kind of attitude, we being served, we feel like being robbed because it isn't worth it. So my friend decided to put 0 on the tipping. Now here's the funny part. It was my credit card bill where I had to decide on the amount of tip, and the final price of my payment includes my signature at the end. When we about to leave, out of nowhere, the owner of the restaurant, it's a Korean lady, squeezed in between my friends and quickly grabbed the receipt. All she looked was the tip part, because she was asking loudly after that, "Tip, tip, why no tip?" Of course, my friend said,
서비스 안 좋았어. 그래서 팁을 안 줬어.
She shouted back saying, "Fine, no tip, no service." Wow, you even said it yourself. Is she like this to every customer that's about to leave? Was it because the way we look? Immature teenagers with no money? I don't see this kind of behavior from other Korean barbecue restaurants we visit. In fact, the owner from other places actually gave us free drink from the fridge that usually costs money. See, that's a warming service. We'll promise them in the future we will revisit there again, which we did. Is that so hard for her to do the same? And there is another time when we were at Denny's around 1 a.m. It's not often to see Denny's actually open 24 hours or late night. While going in, we were overwhelmed by how many customers in there. Surprising, people still eat at this hour too. We do get seated and the waiter took our order right away. I remember ordering the T-bone steak with few appetizer. However, she gave us a heads up.
Well, there's only one chef cooking in the back, so food has to wait around half an hour to an hour long, if that's okay with you guys.
Okay. In the meantime, some customers actually leave without their food coming. We were pretty lucky our food didn't come that late as we expected. We actually tipped more than $20 on the table because the amount of pressure she had to do everything in the front, also the back of the restaurant in case of something happened or collapse. Also the communication she gave us. Dennis, if you're watching my video, please reconsider hiring more staff for the late night shift because the amount of customers that visit at night is equivalent to the amount of customers that visit at daytime as well. The different payment in Taiwan, everything we have in here is already included. Let's say you go to a convenience store to buy for a drink. If the price tag shows $20, then you pay $20 in total. Not as United States, where you still have to pay additional tax fee at the register. You see, our tax already include in the price tag, same as a restaurant bill. In here, we usually say, 你有加一层吗? What that means is, did you include 10% service fee? Let's say 10,000 new Taiwan's money with a service fee that concludes 1,100, which means the tips are already in there for you. Most of the restaurant will include in this bill, unless it's a night market, then it's a different situation. For example, when I was in elementary school, my family went to a cafe or family restaurant, not sure which one. After the meal, my parents and their friends were talking adult stuff, which left me there without anything to do. Do you guys remember Garfield? Yeah, it was a good time where Garfield still had their hard copy comic book. So the waiter saw me there being bored. He handed me the Garfield comics book from their bookshelf. I was reading that the whole time quietly while my parents have their friendly chat. Upon leaving, my parents want to give gratitude to the waiter, so we left a small tip on the table. Not much. While going outside, the waiter quickly rushes out and called us, "Sir, you forgot your money." It's funny to think about it now because my parents didn't think we're in a different country. We used to leave a tip on the table in the United States, which was the common thing to do, but it's different in here. My parents did explain the situation to him and everyone was happy at the end. Thank you for watching my first episode. Special thanks to Ginny, the cooking MS, for helping me with the voicing. See you guys next time.